Part 2 of the story of Enki and Enlil of the Anunnaki in the creation process of humans. Now, as they progressed within the creation of humans, a certain bracket of humans, they have that laboratory going, the Garden of Eden, which is a fucking laboratory. It's not a garden. It was a laboratory. And they were in there creating and genetically splicing and shit, putting things together like they're supposed to, like gods do, creating. Now, they started to understand that eventually their creations would wake up and eventually maybe become even more powerful than them because they put a lot of themselves into these creations, into these beings. And if they started to wake up, these beings that they created, then Enki and Enlil, the Anunnaki, would not be able to have dominion over them. They wouldn't be good slaves for them because that's what they created them for. Now, Enki was teaching these beings knowledge of self. Enlil was mad at his brother for doing this because he knew anything you start to teach knowledge of self, they're going to start growing and evolving and thinking for themselves. They even agreed to never teach and to civilize the beings that they created, kind of like the government does here with its people. Don't give them too much information, just enough so they can stay workers. This is what the Anunnaki agreed to do. But however, Enki had a little bit more love for the beings that the Anunnaki created, and he started to teach them about themselves. He even had sex with a few of the women and created some babies. They agreed to not teach and to civilize these clones because they knew if they civilized and taught them, they would raise up and they would no longer be under their rule. So Adam and Eve started to ask questions along with the other creations, started to ask questions and started to think for themselves. You know, eating the forbidden fruit that they talk about in the Bible. The forbidden fruit was symbolic for knowledge, okay? So Enki kicks Adam and Eve out of the garden, you know, the way they want to do black folks here, for talking too much, for wanting to wake up too much. You know, anytime we start trying to make a move, here it comes. Here's some bullshit come. So Enki kicks Adam and Eve out of the Garden of Eden because they started thinking for themselves, and he didn't want them to influence the other beings that they created. So he kicked them out. And it was real traumatic for Adam. He tried to commit suicide several times. Now, as we venture deeper off into the creation process and just our overall validity as gods and goddesses, we venture on over to Egypt. Amun-Ra, our ancestor, Amun-Ra, the sun god, the god of this melanin, is one of the sons of Enki, and he was very evil. Amun-Ra, Enlil, and their granddaddy, Enlil's daddy, is named Anu. Amun-Ra's granddaddy is named Anu. Now, Amun-Ra, Enlil, and Anu are the three main characters that they stole information and game from when they were writing the Bible. They were stealing something out of these brothers' stories, taking some of their uncommon information, like these people always do, steal our shit, remix it, and then try to act like they can do it better than us. Ain't that a bitch? Now, if you digest this information, you will look at the different stories in the Bible.